Hi, I promised you guys that I would give you a follow-up on how my hip's doing. So this week is my 5-year anniversary of my hip replacement. So I wanted to give you a little rundown of how I'm doing and what I do to kind of maintain. First, I want to show you a little bit of my hip flexibility, how it is now. You can compare it to the video. And this is my original hip, which, you know, I can lift pretty easily, no problem. This one I'm still actually not that strong with. I can lift it like that, but I really have to pull from my core to pull it up. And this one will come up this high, and this one still is a bit of a struggle. So I still have really weak muscles and tendons, but you know, I don't have pain per se. So the physical therapist said to try to get the strength going in this, that I should do exercises like a toe tap, and he said to really pull from the core, you know, like I have a string that's pulling my knee up, because this side I can pull no problem. I don't have to use my core, I'm so strong here, but this one without my core, I really can't pull it up. And that's pretty much as fast as I can go. So you just do the toe taps, or you can do the straight-legged, which is pretty difficult for me. So you can see, even though I'm not having pain, I still really don't have a lot of strength. And that might be my fault, because I haven't been doing as much exercise as I could. So that's a little bit on building the strength there. Another thing that I try to do almost daily is to stretch out my quads here and my calves. And because the first year I could not squat like this at all. It was so painful. I couldn't squat. It was hard to get up and down from the ground. So I really work at just sitting here for quite a while and stretching out you know, all the muscles, working on my balance. And it's not quite an Asian squat, which is like this, which I cannot do if I let go. But I figure this is helping me build strength. I can't quite get up without support. Even like this, I don't have the strength to get up, but I have to kind of do it that way. So that. Another thing I'll do daily, I do this in the shower as well as out of the shower. I do it as often as I can, is just a general leg swing to keep it, you know, really fluid. And of course, you're supposed to do things on both sides to make sure that you're symmetrical. But I'll do this to keep it swinging. And then you could do, you know, a little bit of hip rotation as well on both sides. And then I usually do my back stretch, but there's nothing to do with my hip, I don't think. Okay, then I have a set of floor exercises that I do. I start out with my roller, where I roll my back out a little bit and get flexible, which isn't really the hip, but I'll show you just in case. Kind of cracks my back. Do that a little bit, and then I stretch out my spine and let it decompress as long as I can. One of the things the physical therapist has me doing to stretch out my hip flexor, because that seems to be where I have most of my issues with some kind of chronic tendon inflammation or something here, is to do a little bit of stretching. So you take the foam roller, get it under your lower back right there, and then slowly drop this leg here, and you can really feel the stretch in this hip flexor area. And you know, I'll try to do some other stretching at the same time, stretching my ankles, but you want to sit here and hold it probably 60 seconds or whatever your PT might have you do. And then of course you want to do it on both sides, just to keep the body symmetrical. And then this, to really keep the fascia and the muscles softened. If I haven't done this in a while, this can actually be really painful. So I try to do it pretty regularly to keep those muscles soft and flexible. I toys under the bed, so they're really easy. There's no excuse to grab them. I also have 2 tennis balls in here, which I used to use a lot for the pain, but I really haven't had to use it very much. I've got this handy dandy massage roller, which is really for my neck, but it can also be nice as a massage roller if you're having any kind of inflammation in other parts of the body. I have a lot of neck issues. I might actually do a neck video because I've learned so much about that. But the strap, this is where I have to do this very regularly to keep my legs flexible. So I just take any kind of belt and make a loop and then work on this. If I'm having pain in my hip flexor, then it might hurt to put my leg down, but if I'm doing okay, I can put my leg straight. If this is hurting, I might bend it a little bit. So hopefully it's straight, and then you lower your straight leg down as far as you can. Now notice I'm not going to do that because I'm lifting my hip. It's more important to keep your 2 hips flat and not put your leg all the way down or lower it in this direction. But you've got to keep your hips flat to do this correctly, is what the PT told me. And you want to hold this position and you're really stretching out the muscles in and around that area. And then you can do a crossover lateral stretch looking the opposite direction. And then, of course, you're going to hold those for several seconds. And then you want to stretch out this area here a little bit. Don't push on your knee. And hold that as long as you can. And then this is the big one that I'm sure if you've had hip problems, all of you have done through physical therapy, which is a really, really good hip stretch. You can feel it pulling right here. And then flex your foot and you get a little tighter pull. And then I'll even straighten my leg and do a little bit of ankle work while I'm holding the stretch, just to keep my ankles fluid. You want to hold that position. And of course, then you want to repeat the whole thing on the other leg. I do some quad stretches because just overall this area gets very, very tight. So you do is you turn on your side and pull this leg up to keep your hips level. And then you grab your ankle back here and pull. Try not to pull at an angle. You always want to pull straight and pull, and you're getting the stretch here in this quad. And then of course reverse it. And then I do another quad stretch because I tend to get tight here. Going down like this, and you can really feel how tight it is in the quad. And then I give it a push, a real gentle push with my other foot. Whew. And of course the goal would be to get it down flat, but I don't know. No, it's not. Another stretch you do regularly is a basic butterfly stretch, where you just comfortably, you can give yourself a little extra push or just comfortably lie there and let your muscles stretch around this area. Of course, that's kind of opposite of that stretch, which feels really good.
Yeah, to tie it around the front.
How tight?
Just real tight, real tight. No, come toward me, lean down on the ground, and then lift up your left leg.
Yeah.
That's really good.
So you're feeling the pull right here.
Well, it's supposed to be though that hip right there where your hand is, yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit here, a little bit here. I'm also feeling it right here.
Okay.
Then when I'm down here, I do a little bit of, down dog, cat cow, all that kind of stuff to stretch out my back. And then one of the core strengthening is the Superman, but I have a lot of neck arthritis, so sometimes my neck hurts, so I'll do Superman like this. And then when I'm getting up, I'll do a little up dog, and then your cat cow. And then, this is interesting, I'll do a stretch, walking, And then I'll do this to just kind of give my hamstrings a little stretch as long as I can. And it's interesting is when I come up, my right hip is a little locked, and I kind of have to loosen it up. It locks up when I do that position. Kind of interesting, huh? Okay, I want to show you something that I swear by. It is my shower routine. It's like a massage in the shower. So you can do this every day. But I have a great handle. And I'll tell you, when I'm really stiff or hurting, what I do is I put that hot water on my hip and I roll it out. I'll also do it on my back, you know, just to heat up my back in the morning and get that going. But I will do that, and then I'll do some shoulder work, but I will use this hot water to do my hip exercises, you know, swinging it and, you know, putting the hot water on there gives it a little bit more flexibility, kind of heats up the muscles. And a lot of times I'll do this before my regular workout, and I'll do the tap lifting, and I find I can actually do more strengthening in the hot shower than I can without the hot water. So I'll do as much work as I can while I'm taking my morning shower.
There are still some movements that I kind of have to think about so I don't hurt myself. One is sleeping. Sometimes if I roll around a lot and bend my leg too much, that can create some discomfort the next day. High impact sports, anything jerky, and sometimes lifting my leg into the car takes a little bit more effort. And sometimes if I'm walking and I stub my toe or trip over something, it can create a terrible pain in my hip flexor area, which can last for a few minutes or a few hours. Tying my shoelace is still a little bit of a stretch. As you can see, I can reach my regular leg quite easily, but with the hip replacement leg, my reach isn't quite there, but I can just twist and turn it and make it happen. And everyone scars differently, but here's mine on the left at 10 weeks and now at 5 years. Thank you so much for watching. And if you want to see the original video, which was of my diary of a hip replacement, go ahead and click on it here.